I am now creating weekly exclusive content for Patreon, so if you are interested in that, go check out the link down below. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another player review, and we have the 92 rated Lukaku. I'm not going to do Danilo for those wondering. I was tempted to do it on Road to Glory account, get him into the team that way, but I'm going to go another way. So rather than just complete it for the sake of completing it, even though I am quietly confident that Juve will beat Lazio, not a foregone conclusion for sure because Lazio are a good side, but I've gone with Lukaku because even as a 92 without the upgrade, he has an awful lot to offer. In my opinion, not particularly great in any one position, but off the bench, more than capable of playing in nearly any position, especially with a particular chem style. So the chem style that I've gone with isn't one that I use very often, and there are very, very rare occasions where it actually is useful, and that's a gladiator. Now the reason for that is because Lukaku going forward does lack a little bit in terms of finishing. So with the Gladiator we get 5 finishing, not ideal, would be better if we could make that better, but it's okay. And then 99 attack positioning and 99 long shots combined with 99 shot power. And then what we do to the defensive stats is we take up the stand tackle to 98, the slide tackle to 99, defensive awareness goes up to 84, heading up to 89, and then the interceptions up to 99. When you combine that with 95 short passing, 98 sprint speed, 93 acceleration, and then above 90 for everything in terms of dribbling and physical, and we already have 4-star, 4-star, this guy is one of the best cards in the game purely because you can play him anywhere on the pitch and have a capable, competent player. Now, if you have a look at, not that I'm going to show you, but if you were to go on Footbin and you searched up Jordan Lukaku, had a look at his 92 rated Summer Heat, and then put a Gladiator on him, and then looked at the points per position, you'd notice something that doesn't happen that often, and that is that regardless of where you put him on the pitch, he is a 93 rated player. Even striker, even centre-back, CDM, left mid, cam, centre-forward, you name it, wherever you put him, he is the bare minimum of a 93 rated player, the equivalent of for that position, which is unbelievable. I would be very surprised if there is any other player in the game that comes, well, not that comes close, I'm sure there is actually one that beats him, some like a sort of prime moments, Ruud Gullit or something, probably does, you know, turn into like a 94 rated player per position, but that for a card that is going to cost you just over 100,000 coins, that is grindable through the not so great upgrade system, then I think that's going to start, I mean, you should start asking questions, you know, should I do this? Is this a good card to have off the bench? I know what you're thinking, well, I know what some of you are thinking. Yeah, okay, he's good in every area, right? I get, you know, 93 rated player in every area, but you know, this is wrong in this area, that's wrong in that area. And I understand that, for example, if you've got a Jadon Sancho team of the season on your bench, and you, like I have, for example, because I'm using Mahrez right now in this team. So let's just assume that we have Sancho on the bench, and we're playing Lukaku at left wing from starting, for example. Would you want to have Sancho in that team instead of Lukaku in that position? Yes is the answer, because Sancho is a better player. So, okay, well, we've worked that out then. What if we play Lukaku at left back? Would you want Theo Hernandez or Lukaku at left back? Well, Theo Hernandez is probably better at that, so yeah, probably him. So if you've got all these players that are better in these set positions, why does Lukaku even matter? Yeah, he's good in every position, but he's not excellent in any one position. But that is kind of where the bench comes in. Now, I started him for every single game because I'm doing a review. I want to know the ins and outs. I want to play with him extensively. I want to know what he's like at the beginning, middle, and end of a game in certain positions. And you'll see some clips of him out on the wing, some clips of him in the middle, and that's because I've moved him around more than I've moved any other player around that I think I've ever reviewed before, because he's just so capable of doing everything. But why do I want him if I've got Sancho on the bench and I can use him instead in that position? Or if I've got Kante on the bench instead of him in that CDM role, or Kessie's Summer Heat objective card, for example. a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people like to not bronze bench necessarily, but they sort of lowball their bench, right? So, for example, I know people, even pros, even what are they called? The community managers, if you can call them that. One of them showed their team this season through FIFA 20, and they had 3 bronze cards on their bench, which then prompted the conversation of, well, if an EA community manager is bronze benching, surely there has to be something in it because they've got insider information. And I would happen to agree with you. So I do it now and again. I don't do it religiously, but I do it now and again. So if you're the kind of person who likes to bronze bench, what I mean by that, of course, is you pick 3 subs you know you're going to bring on in the game. And then the rest of the bench is just bronze players. Why do they do that? Well, I mean, that's for another video, but it's basically to get your team rating lower, because obviously now, especially more than any other time of the year, you're going to have a very high-rated team because of the amount of high-rated cards that are probably in your squad. So, if you bronze bench, it brings the rating down, and therefore you match easier, or at least people with lower-rated teams. Therefore, in theory, easier teams. Now, why does that matter? Well, Lukaku is one of those players that you can bring on in any position, so he could be one of your 3 subs, because a lot of you may not know what you need. You might sometimes need to bring on a defense-minded player because your current defender isn't keeping up with the pace of the game. Maybe he's completely lost his stamina. Maybe you'll need to bring on a striker. Maybe you'll need to bring on a winger. Maybe you'll need to bring on a fullback. You could need anything at any one time during this game. So if you have a player on the bench who can quite literally play every position to the quality of Lukaku can, that and that alone is the reason why this card is absolutely sensational. Because if you put him on the bench, not only do you have a fantastic super sub, but you have a fantastic super sub in regardless of which area you bring him on in, he's going to do a great job for you. So that, in my opinion, is the appeal of Jordan Lukaku. Now, if he goes up a rating to 93 or he goes up to 95, then we could be talking about a different kettle of fish, really, because we could be talking about a player who's actually really good in one position. Now, I played him at left wing for a bit, and he got involved. He scored a couple of goals, got a few assists, did all right. Played him at centre mid, again, did all right. Played him at CDM, and I feel like that's where he was best. He really did perform as a CDM. His strength is unbelievable, and the defensive awareness isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be since putting a gladiator on him. If, of course, you want to play him as a CDM, then I think it's probably better that you give him a dedicated chem style for it. So, for example, you could give him a powerhouse. You could give him a backbone if you want to improve the heading. And, of course, you get better jumping in there as well. Bump up the vision. And then, of course, you get 89 defensive awareness as opposed to the 5 boost that you get. And you turn him into a 94 rated CDM. Well, 94.5 rated CDM anyway. But for me, personally, the Gladiator was there because I was switching him around in-game, and I didn't know which position I wanted to play him in-game. So I thought, well, I'll improve his finishing just in case we do play him left wing, and then I'll improve his defensive stats just in case we drop him down. The reason his average match rating per position is non-applicable is because I didn't really have a specific position for him, so can't say to you, oh, well, in that position he played, we normally get an average of an 8.4 because he played everywhere. Like I said, left wing, centre mid, CDM. I didn't try him at fullback, although I'm more than certain he'd be capable. In fact, he's probably better than the Lala that I've got at right back, and I could have played him there with his 4-star weak foot. It wouldn't have been the end of the world, but I didn't really have time to play him extensively in every position. I played him in 3 or 4 though, which is normally more than twice as many as more than I would normally do. English is difficult. Is this card worth it? As a starter, I'm going to say no. I don't think he is. Unless somehow you can get him to start left side and then bring him in as a CDM, then it might be worth it, but I think there probably are better, well, there definitely are better CDMs out there. I like the card a lot, but for that reason I said, toward the middle of the video, I like it because you can bring him on and you can put him anywhere and he's going to do a solid job regardless of who he's playing against and regardless of which position you bring him on in. Even as a centre back, okay, maybe 5'10 isn't ideal, and the fact that he has a high attacking work rate isn't ideal either, but it's still going to be a card that you can bring on and really challenge players that are coming up against you, whether it be attackers or whether it be defenders. He's got everything you need. The stocky body type doesn't help him when attacking. I wasn't a massive fan of him as a left wing. He did a decent job. He just wasn't a huge fan of it there. But in terms of a CDM or a CM or even a fullback, this card is unbelievable off the bench. I would recommend it purely for that, honestly. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. If you have used him, of course, let me know what you think. And if you plan on starting him, let me know, because I'd be very interested to see who he replaces in your team. If you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.